So we did the hardware part in the third lesson, third chapter. It's clear, right? Any questions?
Teacher, we have another part, right, teacher?
The remaining part is there. The input and output. Okay, wait.
I
We
think no, teacher. I think we should start
secondary
from,
storage devices. I
yeah, that's from
Oh,
that.
okay. So, okay, here we have the secondary storage devices. Now, what will happen with the secondary storage devices? Before discussing secondary storage devices, um, we should introduce some terminologies. So, for any hardware device, whether an integral part of the computer system or a connected peripheral, its operation requires its operation requires appropriate software to be installed. So this software is referred to as the device driver. What it says? Are you telling something?
So, no, teacher, no.
No, right? No, okay. So what will happen? This should not be confused with the term drive associated specially with a storage device. So the term drive initially referred to the hardware that housed a storage medium and physically transferred data to it or read data from it. However, as so often happens, such distinctions are often ignored. As a result, for example, references to a hard disk drive, or to a hard drive have the same meaning. That's what, anyway, for the secondary storage devices. Here we have a small introduction. It's all about the terminologies, what we have to know when we are talking about secondary storage devices, and also when we are studying about secondary storage devices. We should know, especially, we should not confused with the term called drive associated especially with the storage devices. We have to identify these items separately. What are their purposes? What are their how we can store all these informations and data there, and what about the capacities we have on those ones? Kila, we should know. So the first secondary storage device is magnetic media. Now, what we have with the magnetic media have been a mainstay of file store technology. It's also a file store, it is kind of a file store technology. It's a file store technology for a very long time. The invention of magnetic tape, ඉස්සර තිබ්බේ මෙන්න මේ magnetic medias. So the invention of magnetic tape for sound recording predates the invention of the computer by many years. As a result, magnetic tape was the first storage device. එතකොට ඉස්සෙල්ලාම storage devices වලින් එළියට ආවේ magnetic tape. In contrast, the hard disk was specifically invented for computer storage. එතකොට computer storage එකක් විදිහට තමයි computer storage එකක් විදිහට තමයි we already invented it. The hard disk also used magnetization to write data. Hard disk එකෙත් anyway මේ magnetic media part එක anyway it's also used, and also and arrived a few years after magnetic tape was first used for storage as well. ඉස්සෙල්ලම anyway the magnetic media, magnetic tape, and then only hard disk drive came. But in hard disk also the same
Teacher, sorry,
is
teacher.
used after
Teacher,
a few
I
years.
actually, teacher, are there? Teacher, I actually left, teacher. Can you start with the magnetic tape was the first storage
Okay, sure,
device
sure,
teacher?
sure. Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
So here, now what we'll have here for the magnetic media. Magnetic media have been the mainstay of file store technology. Anyway, it's also a file stores technology for a very long time. And the invention of magnetic tape for sound recording predates the invention of the computer by many years. And as a result, magnetic tape was the very first storage device. Magnetic tape was the very first storage device, and in contrast, the hard disk was specially invented for computer storages as well. The mechanism, whatever we have in hard disk drive, same as the magnetic media. Because the hard disk drive again, we already use this magnetization to write data. Habai, it's arrived a few years after magnetic tape was first used for storage. Isallama me mechanism එක use kare in magnetic tape, and then only for the hard disk drive වලටත් after few years they also use this. For either type of magnetic medium, the interaction with it is controlled by a read head and a write head. So there are like two heads. One is for the read head. මම කතා කරන්නේ anyway with the about the magnetic tape. So for the magnetic media, we have read head as well as write head. A read head uses the basic law of physics that a state of magnetization will affect an electrical property. A write head uses the reverse law. Uh, although they are separate devices, Sampurning, though it's two separate devices, the two heads are combined in a read and write head. Habai read and write head dekedi me dekam ekata combine kalla තියෙනවා. So the two alternative states of the magnetization are interpreted as a binary 1, 0 and 1. 0 and 1 විදිහට තමයි state එක define කළා තියෙන්නේ. So how the systematic works? So the systematic diagram of a hard disk is shown in figure 3.2. Points to note about the physical constructions are, what are those ones? There is more than one platter. Eka platter එකකට වඩා platters ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. Here we have those platters. Each platter has a read-write head for each side. හැම side එකකටම we have a read-write platter එක. And the platters spin, ඒ කියන්නේ head එකක් තියෙනවා හැම platter එකේම. platter එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ it's like අර CD තැටියක් වගේ කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. අන්නේ තැටි කීපයකින් තමයි මේ hard disk drive එක හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ. So the platters spin in unison, that is all together at the same speed. ඔක්කොම එක වෙලාවෙ එකම speed එකකින් තමයි කැරකෙන්න පටන් ගන්නෙ. The read write heads are attached to actuator arms which allow the heads to move over the surfaces of the platters as well. So the motion of each read write head is synchronized with the motion of the other heads. අනිත් heads එකත් ඒක synchronize වෙලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි පටන් ගන්නේදී ඔක්කොම එකට පටන් ගන්නෙ with the same speed. So a cushion of air ensures that a head does not touch a platter surface. මේක නිකන් අර read කරන එකනේ, මේක touch වෙන්නේ නැහැ මේ platter එකේ. ගෑවි නොගෑවි යන scene එකක් තමයි මෙතන completely තියෙන්නේ. ඒ තැනට ඒ platter එක ආවහම එතන write කරලා තියෙන ටික එයා read කරනවා. That's how it normally works. So here data are stored in concentric tracks. Tracks share in the same center. එකම center එක තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ share කරන්නේ. Each track consists of a sequence of bits. So these are formatted into sectors where each sector contains a defined number of bytes, and the sector becomes the smallest unit of storage as well. Because the movement of the heads is synchronized, the same tracks on different disks can have related data stored on them. So these are accessible by just one movement of the head, and the collection of tracks is referred to as a cylinder as well. අපි ඒකට තමයි cylinder එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. So here we have the cylinders and මේ platters කියලා කියන්නේ completely මේ තියෙන CD තැටි වගේ තැටියකට and spindle එකක් තියෙනවා. අර read write head එකේ දෙකම තියෙනවා කියලා කිව්වේ මෙන්න මේක තමයි read write head එක. ඒව ඔක්කොම connect වෙලා තියෙන actuator arm එකට. ඒක තමයි මෙතන තියෙන actuator arm එක. So to store a file, අපි file එකක් store කරනවා නම්, if we wanted to store a file, then a sufficient number of sectors have to be allocated, but these might or might not be next to each other. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට එක ළඟ තිබ්බත් සමහරක් වෙලාවට එක ළඟ නැති වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. As files are created and subsequently deleted or edited, the use of the sectors becomes increasingly fragmented, which degrades the performance of the disk. මෙන්න මේක performance, ඒ කියන්නේ hard disk drive එකේ performance අඩු කරන්න reason එකක් වෙනවා. Fragments, කොටස් වලට කඩන එක, and defragmentation program can recognize the allocation of sectors. මේ අපි sectors වලට allocate කරලා තියෙන එක. We can define or introduce a defragmentation program, and why we use this to again allocation of sectors to files to restore these performance as well. This is discussed in chapter 8. A hard drive is considered to be a direct access read-write device because any sector can be chosen for reading or writing. However, the data in a sector has to be read sequentially because there's an order. Because of that, we have to read it sequentially in an order. This is only a simplified explanation of hard drive technology. There are several issues that arise when making hard drives. Maybe, for example, the length of a track on the disk gets larger as you move from center to edge. Center එකේ ඉඳන් edge එකට යනකොට අර length එක වැඩි වෙනවත් එක්කලම track එකේ දිගත් මොකද වෙන්නේ වැඩි වෙනවා. So manufacturers have to take account of this in their designs. ඒගොල්ලෝ design කරද්දිම මේක ගැන ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතන්න ඕනේ. Otherwise, the data storage capacity will be less. මොකද ඒක එහෙම වැඩි වෙන්න lengthier වෙන්න complete data storage capacity will be less than it potentially might be. හිතනවට වඩා අනිවාර්යෙන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? capacity එක අඩු වෙලා යන්න පුළුවන් අපේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන් data වලට data store කරන්න තියෙන capacity එක. Okay, now first read this part.
Sure, teacher. Lindsay, can you scroll it down?
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, I sent you some 10 MCQ questions. Can you do those 10 MCQ questions quickly? Only the MCQ
Sure,
one.
teacher. Sure.
Last MCQ questions.
Teacher finished doing teacher. Are you there?
Okay, I'll send you the answers. I'll quickly move to the next part. So then,
Teacher, I did the MCQ 10 questions, teacher.
okay. Okay, the first 10 we have to do the next part, that is the where's the note? Okay, so here we have this. Now, optimal medias, as with the magnetic tape medium, optical storage was developed. This optical storage was developed from existing technology and not associated with computing systems as well. So the compact disc, that's what we call CD, evolved into CD digital audio, that is CDDA, and this became the technology used in the CD-ROM. So this was extensively used for distributing software, but was of no value as a replacement for the floppy disk. So the read-write version, that is CD read-write, එතකොට අපි කියන්නේ compact disk read and write, which came later, finally meant CD was a complete alternative to floppy disks as well. However, the CD has now given way to the DVD, which is originally digital video disc, but later renamed as digital versatile disc. So the latest and the most powerful technology is the Blu-ray disc. That's what we call Blu-ray disc num BD. So semantic diagram of a design for an optical disc drive is shown in this below figure. This is equipped to read a CD with infrared laser light of wavelength 780 millimeters, or a DVD with read laser light of wavelength which is 680 nanometers as well. This is the entire schematic drawing of the optical disc drive, how the path works. So where we have, anyway, at the end we have disk. So before that, okay, so here we have the read signal detector from this pen. Pen එක වගේ එකෙන් තමයි we are reading those one are the relevant ones, what is already written, and the signal correction key is there, and the diachronic mirror is there, and objective lens and the optical correction also there. මන්නම් මේ වගේ මෙහෙම මේ graphs and sketches නම් අහලා explain කරනවා past papers වල නෑ, but you should know kind of an overall, you should have a kind of an overall idea to answer the first paper the second paper the එහෙම idea එකක් ඕනේ, but they won't ask you to explain with the sketches and these ones. So here for the focus offset cone and the diachronic mirror as well there. එතකොට උඩ තියෙනවා beam splitter එකයි, ඒක ඇතුලේ we have a tracking detector and also tracking laser as well. මේ සම්පූර්ණ එකටම we called it as tracking system. That's what we call like CD. So මෙතන තියෙනවා read write laser read එක, ඒකෙන් තමයි ඒ අදාළ points ඔක්කොම read කරන්නේ. Anyway, this will be a schematic drawing of an optical disc drive. We can ignore the finer details of the construction of the drive and concentrate on the principles of how it operates. අන්න ඒක වැදගත්. The important features for the process of reading data from the disk are as follows. What are those ones? First one is the optical disc has one spiral track. එකම එක spiral track එකක් විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. The optical disc has one spiral track running from the inner extreme of the surface to the outer edge. ඇතුලේ ඉඳන් එළියට run වෙන එකම එක spiral track එකක් විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. During those operations, the disc spins. Disc එක completely spin වෙනවා. සම්පූර්ණ operation එක සිද්ධ වෙන වෙලාවෙදී. And simultaneously, the laser moves across, ensuring that it is continuously focused on the spiral track. And the track on the surface, අර surface එක උඩ තියෙන complete track එක, the track on the surface of the disk has what are referred to as pits and the lands as well. And the laser beam is reflected from the surface of the disk, and the difference between the reflection from a pit compared to that from a land can be detected as well. And this difference in the intensity of the light and the detector receives can be interpreted. මේ දෙකේ වෙනස තමයි can be interpreted as either 1 or 0. Yes නම් 1, if it's no නම් 0, binary 1 to allow a binary code to be read from the disk. කොහොමත් disk එකෙන් අපි read කරන්නේ permission අපිට හම්බ වෙන්නේ read කරන්න හැකියාව තියෙන්නේ only binary codes. So for CD read write and DVD read write versatile disk එක DVD, those technologies, the reflective surface is a special alloy material. Special alloy material එකකින් තමයි මේක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. When data is being written to the disk, the burn process මොනවාද write වෙනකොට ආයි ඒ data එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් ලියනකොට the burn process happening, the heat generated by the absorption of the laser light changes the material to liquid form. Depending on the intensity එකේ dependency එක අණුව of the laser light, the material reverts to either a crystalline or and amorphous solid form when it cools. Cool when අරිද්දී ඒකේ forms දෙකෙන් එකකට යනවා. When the disk is read, disk එක completely read කරලා ඉවර වුණාම සම්පූර්ණයෙන් කියවද්දී the laser light is reflected from the crystalline solid but not from the අර crystalline එකෙන් තමයි read කරන්නේ. හැබැයි අනිත් එකෙන් නෙමෙයි. allowing the coding of 1 or 0 එතනත් 10 කියලා විදිහට binary codes වලින් තමයි එතන read කරන්නේ. Despite there being only one track, the disk functions as a direct access device because the laser can move towards or backwards as well. So the data is formatted into sectors. Data is formatted into sectors along the track in a similar way to the formatting of the magnetic hard disk as well. Another similarity with magnetic disk terminology is that the storage capacity is depending on how close together individual physical representations of a binary digit can get. And there are two aspects දෙකක් තියෙනවා of governing this for an optical disk එකකට මේක දාගන්න එකේ. So the speed of rotation is 1. So the speed of rotation is 1, but the most important is the wavelength of the light. Shorter wavelength light can be better focused. This is why a DVD can store more than a CD. ඒක නිසා තමයි අපි කියන්නේ a DVD can store more than a CD but much less than ඒ වුණාට Blu-ray disc එකකට වඩා අඩුයි DVD එකක store කරන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රමාණය. That's what they are saying with the optimal media or optimal discs as well. Okay, read this part as well.
Sure. Teacher, could you scroll it down?
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Then I have sent another set of MCQ questions from this part as well. Can you do those ones also?
Sure, teacher.
Okay.
Finish doing teacher. Did you finish doing? Did you finish doing?
Okay. So let me send you the answers.
Sure.
Okay, we'll do this part as well. So for the next part, it will be solid state drives, which means SSDs. So despite the continued improvement in optical technology, there is now a powerful competitor in the form of solid state storage. The basis for this is that is flash memory, which is a semiconductor technology with no moving parts. අනිත් ඒ වගේ අර මේක කටුව කැරකෙනවා and also there's a moving part as well නේ. හැබැයි here we don't have such thing and also මේක semiconductor technology එක තමයි use කරන්නේ with no moving parts. අන්න ඒක you have to remember. So the circuits consist of arrays of transistors acting as memory cells. So the most frequently used technology is called NAND because the basic circuitry resembles that of a NAND logic gate with the memory cells connected in series. එතකොට SSDs වල ගොඩක් වෙලාවට we should know that NAND logic gate එක තමයි operate වෙන්නේ and the writing to the memory and the reading from it is handled by the NAND flash controller. So the special feature is that blocks of memory cells can have their contents erased all at once in a flash. එකපාර ඔක්කොම ටික ඉරේස් කිරීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. Furthermore, before data can be written to a block of cells in the memory, the data in the block first has to be erased. දැනට තියෙන already තියෙන data ටික erase කරලා තමයි අලුතෙන් data input කරන්න වෙන්නේ. So a block consists. Hello? Hello? Yes? So here what it says, the writing to the memory and the reading from it is handled by NAND flash controller. So the special feature is that blocks of memory cells can have their contents erased all at once in a flash. Furthermore, before data can be written to a block of cells in the memory, the data in the block first has to be erased. So a block consists of several pages of memory. When data is read, a single page of data can be read in one operation. So the most frequent use is either in a memory card or in a USB flash drive and memory stick. In the latter case, the flash memory is incorporated in a device with the memory chip connected to a standard USB connector as well. අපි කොහොමද දන්නවනේ එක මේ connect කරන්න USB connector එකකින් කියලා. This is currently the technology of choice for removable data storage. How long this will remain so is uncertain with alternative technologies such as phase change random access memory, that is PRAM, already under development as well. So the alternative use is as a substitute for a hard disk when it is often referred to as a solid state SSD. You might think that with no moving parts, the technology would last forever. This is not true with continuous use. There is a degradation in the material used for the construction. However, this is only gradual and it can be detected and it's affected corrected for. Another major advantage over the traditional hard drive is the faster access speed as well. So මෙතනදී when it comes to solid state media means anyway the hard disk drive. එතකොට what we are using there anyway the NAND logic gate එක තමයි අපි use කරන්නේ. So NAND logic gate එකෙන් තමයි read and write both අපි කරන්නේ as a flash controller. ඊට පස්සේ special feature එකක් විදිහට if we consider a special feature that is actually that blocks of memory cells can have their contents erased all at once. ඒගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් එකපාර ඔක්කොම erase කරන්න in a flash memory. And also තියෙනේවා delete කළා තමයි we have to input again with new ones. එතකොට ඒකත් point එකක් වෙනවා. Several pages of memory when data is read, a single page of data can be read in one operation at a time. So that is done. And the most frequent use is either in a memory card or okay USB flash drive එකක් විදිහට තමයි එන්නේ or else memory chip එකක් විදිහට ගත්තත් ඒකත් we have that USB port access එහෙම තමයි connect කරන්නේ. We can use this as a portable one as well. ඒ කියන්නේ අර solid state drive that is SSD එකක් විදිහටත් අපි මේවා කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතන තියෙන basic ම දේ and the most important day is there's no any moving parts මුකුත් නැහැ මේකේ. The technology would last forever. ඒක නිසා මේක දිගටම තියෙනවා. This is not true with continuous use. There's a degradation in the material used for construction. However, this is only gradual and it can be detected and its effects corrected for. Another major advantage over the traditional hard drive is the faster access speed as well. මේක තව එක හේතුවක් faster access speed. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉක්මනට අපිට copy paste කරන්න පුළුවන් read and write දෙකම කරන්න පුළුවන් through this. That's also very important. Okay, read the solid state drive part as well.
Sure, teacher.
ඔය මදුනිකාට ආපු එක.
Teacher finish. Teacher finished reading.
Okay. So that part is done. Okay, I'll send the questions. Okay, so do these questions as well. First, these are all about SSDs. These are about SSDs.
Got it, teacher.
දෙන්නාගේම එකට ගත්තහම
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so that is it. Then I'll send all the answers, all the three set of questions answers. And now we have to do the output devices provided for a use of a general purpose computer system. So anyway, here we will be discussing about output devices, and the next section it will be about input devices. So for the output devices provided for a user of a general purpose computer system, there the screen display එකක් ගත්තාම first one is the screen display. So chapter 1 described how an image could be stored as a bitmap build up from pixels. Screen displays are also based on the pixel concepts, but with one major difference. එක ලොකු වෙනසක් තියෙනවා. A screen pixel consists of 3 subpixels typically, one each for red, green and blue, varying the level of light emitted from the individual subpixels allows a full range of colors to be displayed. So there have been a number of very different technologies used to create a pixel. In the original cathode ray tube, that is CRT technology, there is no individual component for a pixel. The inner surface of the screen is covered with phosphor, which is a material that emits light when electrons fall on it. An individual pixel is lit up by controlling the direction of the electron beam used. Color CRT displays have individual red, green, and blue phosphors arranged so as to create an array of pixels. හරි දැන් මෙතන කියන්නේ for the screen display නම් chapter 1 anyway they have described how an image could be stored as bitmap කලින් කොහොමත් anyway in computers how we stored all these images as bitmap. A bitmap build up from the pixels වලින් හැදිලා හැබැයි අපි store කරද්දි it will stored as bitmaps. So screen displays ගත්තාම they are also based on pixel concepts. මේවත් completely they also with the pixel concepts, but with one major difference is there. That is a screen pixel consists of 3 subpixels, typically one each for red, green, blue. අර RGB values එන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතනින්. RGB concept එක එන්නේ මෙතනින්. So varying the level of light emitted from the individual subpixels allow a full range of colors to be displayed. So there have been a number of very different technologies used to create a pixel. In the original cathode ray tube technology, there is no individual component for a pixel. So the inner surface of the screen is covered with phosphor, which is a material that emits light when electrons fall on it. An individual pixel is lit up by controlling the direction of the electron beam used. So the cathode color of cathode ray AK color AK displays have individual red, green and blue phosphors arranged so as to create an array of pixels as well. Now, flat screen technologies now dominate. So the liquid crystal displays, that's what we call the LCD. LCD screen is an example. It has individual cells containing a liquid crystal to create each pixel as well. So the pixel matrix is illuminated by backlighting, and each pixel can affect the transmission of this light to create the on-screen display. So a typical arrangement is shown in figure 3.4 as well. මේක තමයි the components of a liquid crystal display screen එකකට example. So යටම layer එකේ TFT glass polarizer එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට උඩින් color filter glasses තියෙනවා. ඒකටත් උඩින් color filters තියෙනවා. And also ඊටත් උඩින් තියෙනවා polarizers as well. So the liquid crystals with the voltages. So the backlighting is usually provided by light emitting diodes, that is LEDs. Polarized light is directed towards the pixel matrix, and a further polarizer is placed between the pixel matrix and the screen. If a voltage is applied to an individual pixel cell, the alignment of the liquid crystal molecules is affected. So this changes the polarization of the light, and so changes what is displayed on the screen as well. මේ සම්පූර්ණයෙන් කරන changes ඔක්කොමත් එතනදී තමයි සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ. Okay, read the first part, that is the screen display part.
Sure, teacher.
Chamudi, shall we continue from here next day onwards? Because actually, today I'm going today I'm traveling to Matara, so I have to go around 2:30 wage. So,
Okay.
shall we continue with the next day?
Sure, teacher.
No,
Okay.
when you are free. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. See you on.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Sure, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Dear.